Hey YouTube, I got a Mora Robust the other day and did some stuff to it, and I'm gonna show y'all what all I did to it. Okay, so starting out, we have the bow drill socket that Dave at Bushcraft on Fire has a tutorial about. Go check out his site, and he'll show you how to do that. And it's super easy. You know, depending on how careful you are, you can make it look really neat. I don't know if you can see that. My camera doesn't really focus, but yeah, it looks really neat, like it was made that way. So I'm pretty proud of that. This is the sheath, and we'll talk about what I've done to it. What I've done with the sheath rather, is I put a ferro rod with some Velcro. I just wrap some Velcro around the sheath, and then put the pile side on top of the hook side. This is a tent pole repair kit bungee cord that I got at Bass Pro for $5 for 45 feet of it. And I just took some leather dye and stained it a little brownish because it was white. The handle isn't quite finished yet. I just put it on. It's a scrap piece of curly maple that I had. I'm gonna sand it down real nice and smooth, maybe thin it out a little bit up here, and then probably put some linseed oil and finish coat on it. But I bought these little ferro rods. They're 1/4 inch by 2 inches, I believe, 2.5. On eBay, a pack of eight was only, I think it was $18 with free shipping. So that's probably the best deal for a fire rod I've found. And it's real easy to just drill a 1/4 inch hole in a piece of wood, and then you can either carve it or sand it to shape and put some 2-ton epoxy or 2-part epoxy down in the hole. Push the rod down through the hole, let it set up overnight, and it doesn't always come out straight. You can see it's kind of going that way, but you know, that's okay. It doesn't have to be perfectly straight. It throws sparks fairly well. And I drilled a hole, and then all I did was girth hitch this in there so that whenever I put it in my sheath, that I can bring this over, and the tension from the elastic band holds it in place. It's not going anywhere. Even if it's snagged on a branch, it would have to go through a good bit of force to get out of there. Another thing I did, obviously, was wrap the handle in 550 cord. This is about 9-10 feet, maybe less, 8 to 10 feet, I should say. And I just used this button here for a quick tie off because it was easy, and I'm not going to use this button anyway. You can take other Mora sheaths that have the button hole, and you can put them in front of this for the Craftsman series, but I'm not going to do that when I go bushcrafting, and I'm probably not going to do that around the house, so I didn't even worry about it. The sheath does have a drain hole. For those of you that are looking at Moras for the first time, it's just like all the other sheaths. The overall button clip, that's pretty neat. I'm going to use that whenever it gets cold enough to wear my overalls. And on the underside, before I wrapped the 550 cord, I took some 26 gauge, sorry, crafting wire and wrapped it around for snares. Whatever kind of traps I need, this should be enough. It might break, I don't know. It's got a rubber handle for people that don't know about the Mora Robust or the Mora Clippers, stuff like that. Plastic end cap and bolster. It's an 1/8 inch carbon steel. The carbon steel is 1095, which is a great steel. I make some of my knives out of 1095. Another mod that I did was I took the factory spine off. When it comes from the factory, most of them, as well as the clippers, it's not just the Robust, but most of the clippers still have a rolled edge where they cut it or they stamped it out of the piece of 1095. So I just filed that down with a file and with my sharpening stone, and made 90-degree edges on either side, and that's for striking a fire steel. It works really well. I redid the edge just to make sure that it was perfectly flat, and now it is just scary sharp. Like, I cut my hand doing something with the handle and barely touched the blade, and it just gashed me wide open. So it is super sharp, and it's super easy to sharpen too. For the bow drill, instead of a measuring cup with the handle cut off, you can simply take a 1/4 inch or a 1/2 inch socket and take a dime, put the dime in the socket, on top of the socket, and then take a ball peen hammer, put that on top of the dime, put all of that into a vise, and then tighten it until it bends around the dime, or until the dime bends around the hammer. Excuse me. And then that will give it kind of a, I don't know if you can see that, kind of a cup parabolic shape. And I did a buddy of mine's knife yesterday with this, and it seems to work great, and it only cost a dime. So that's pretty cool. I think that's it. If you have any questions or comments, please feel free to leave them, and hopefully I'll have a lot more videos coming up shortly. Thanks, and have a great day.